explaining something that is abstract within the confines of reason doesn't make sense. Hello, Jammers. How you doing? How you doing? Can you tell I'm doing good? So I want to talk about the full moon and emotions and feelings. So I just made a video before this where I was talking about everything and nothing, and I really liked that video. So if you want to check it out, feel free. But in this video I want to talk about the full moon is said to bring out the werewolf. Why does it bring out the werewolf? Like, what does that mean? What is a werewolf? Is like a beast. It's scary, it's negative, it will bite your head off. Like, you have to watch out, and it's hairy and just not a really like pleasant thing. It's not like a puppy. Like, it would be different if they said the full moon brings the puppy out. You'd be like, what puppy? Like, oh, that's cute. Oh, you know. And this is how your unconscious or subconscious is programmed, low-key, because you've definitely, most of you would have heard about that the full moon brings out the werewolf. Like, where does this come from? Who was the first person to say this? Why? What does it mean? You know, oh, it's just a myth. Okay, it's just a myth, but does it have an effect on you? Does it have an effect on what you think about the full moon? And then you also have witches and words like that. That's like, ooh, no, I don't mess with no more witches, you know? Wow, I just felt like going into the subject of witch stuff, but I'll leave that for now. Maybe I'll make a video after this one about that. But I think personally the reason why that has become a myth, or why that was brought up as a myth, is because the people that used to rule our society, and I'm saying used to because things are really changing right now, and I can feel it all over. And the people that used to rule, or rule basically our society, were very interested in focusing on male kind of energy. If you think about it, like the Bible, there's his perspective. All the stories in the Bible, usually men. Like, we have some women, Magdalena, Elizabeth, Maria. Those are the ones I remember. But usually it's about men from a male's perspective, and even God is referred to as him. Last time I checked, people didn't get born from men. Last time I checked, you needed both, but whatever. That's a different video for sure. Again, feel free if there's anything that I'm saying as I'm saying it that you wish that I would have talked more about, going more in depth about my own perception or my own opinion, because that's what I can do, that's what I do, that's what I offer here on this channel. Let me know, write a comment down below, or you can find my Facebook page, Facebook channel, Facebook profile. Wow. I always leave links down below where you can write me a message or whatever. Don't DM me because I ain't got no smartphone right now. Working on the Alcatel squad, so a smartphone is coming though. I like social media for this reason. You can express yourself, you can share your thoughts and everything. But then it can become too much, and especially since I've not been active on social media when it comes to Snapchat and Instagram and all of that in a long time. I'll probably take it easy, step by step, hey, day by day. Make it better second time. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Can you tell I grew up on TV? Okay, let's get back to, what was I saying? Emotions. I feel like the reason why that is a myth, that the full moon brings out the werewolf is because the people that used to rule the society wanted to have a more logic and reason-based society. Because you don't think about it, but I love you. Sometimes when I just start laughing, and I do this when I'm out with people as well, I have like an internal joke in my mind, because I promise you guys, if you spend some time in my mind, it goes so fast. Don't think about it, but if you catch that, you catch my drift. But okay, whatever. Bruh, what was I saying? Which is why emotions are usually viewed as less worthy, less relevant. If you're having a discussion, you're supposed to compose yourself. You're supposed to stay sophisticated. I can't stand that word. Like, when it comes to all words, sophisticated is sophisticated and normal towards wow, I keep going off topic, but I like it. And it's very interesting because I've been reading about doing self-study within psychology, right, and perception and stuff. And video is coming. More videos are coming. Trust and believe it. But as I've been reading about Sigmund Freud, and right now I'm reading more about Carl Jung. But during reading Sigmund Freud was really interesting, and then also learning more about him and his colleagues. He had a nephew living in New York, I think, Edward Bernays. And Edward Bernays, I don't know what his official work title was, but he basically had different clients. He was working within propaganda, which was later called PR, public relations. But it stems from propaganda, and the word propaganda also is from back when I think the Catholic Church wanted to spread the message of their agenda, basically, or their belief, their faith, and wanted to spread that with people, why they should be in the favor of the Catholic Church, why they should support them, why they should join them. And that's how propaganda actually started. I think it was in Rome. And then fast forwarding to America, during World War I or II, I think there was something about that Germany was really using propaganda a lot to raise Hitler's cause. I'm not 100% sure, but basically the word propaganda became what's the word? When people heard propaganda, they thought about war and like negativity, and also like a focus on Germany at that time. There's something like that. I need to read up on it again. If you're interested, you got the internet. It's really a beautiful tool. But yeah, so they switched the word from propaganda to PR, public relations. And Edward Bernays, homeboy, he had different clients, as I was saying, and one of them were the American Tobacco Company. And the American Tobacco Company were losing money because men considered it a taboo for women to smoke. And they contacted Edward Bernays and were like, we need... Oh, it's actually Ruth's child. I think it started with him. Edward Bernays was Ruth's child's first... Rothschild, that word, bro. We all know who that is, right? Like the guy, I think he's dead now, right? The guy that had like a mining company and was owning, I think it was Detroit, I'm not sure, but somewhere, and he basically was running the entire town. And then a lot of people started protesting, went to the streets, protested, and then there was a killing, like a mass shooting of women, children, men, everyone were being slaughtered, basically. And Ruth's child became really negative in the view of the common people because they believed that he was behind it, because he was the only person that was I don't know. It just makes sense. Put one and one together. I'll see if I can link some of the videos that I've been watching and link sources that I'm reading and stuff that you guys can check out if you're interested. It's really interesting, I promise you. I've been like, oh, I was having so much fun researching, and I was just like, bro, like this is so, like, it's so clear, it's so obvious what has been done to the collective conscious, subconscious, unconscious by these people, bruh. So Rothschild hired Edward Bernays, and Edward Bernays made like a campaign, made videos of Rothschild going to people and talking to them, basically putting him in a beautiful light and making this presentation, because you know you can present a case. If you take a picture of someone and there's a trash can behind, you can choose to remove the trash can, and instantly the picture looks better depending on what you want to portray. And it's very easy to portray a certain message or a certain identity kind of through the lens. That's why with this camera in the beginning, for me with the YouTube channel, I was a little bit, I wouldn't say stressed, but it caught me a little bit off guard how public you feel, not public, but how vulnerable you feel. And especially with I still don't have my period video. When I talk to people, when I meet people one-on-one, I love to talk about real stuff, things that I really care about. I want to hear what they care about. And I'm so open. I've always been. I don't mind talking about like my secrets. Okay, there's a couple of things that I probably wouldn't share on the first meet, but I'm just saying that I'm open, especially when it comes to the puberty period subject. Like my past, my parents, my stuff like that doesn't really affect me to share with people. But I underestimated how it would feel for it to be online, for it to be on YouTube, for people to be able to watch it whenever, however, and respond to it. But it's feeling good now because I'm so comfortable in my skin. Like, I've never been as comfortable in my body and as present in my body as I am today, and I'm so grateful and it's so beautiful. And I just want to share that with you guys so you can get the most out of this experience, this life experience, because that's what stay jamming means. It's enjoying the journey of life whilst you have it, whilst you're in this experience as a human, as an expression of life, you know, as an experience, and really enjoy it and make the most out of it. And it's not about the money. It's not, okay, girl, I just went I just went on a boat and I started rowing. Okay, so I was talking about oh, my cheeks are getting red and stuff. I was talking about Edward Bernays. I need to put this thing here. Okay. I was talking about Edward Bernays and Sigmund Freud. So, excusez-moi. I believe it was Edward Bernays that moved to America when he was 1 year old with his family. And he's also from Austria, same as Freud. I believe they both were from Austria, yeah. And it's really interesting because a lot of influential people that were underground, that weren't like in your face on camera and like talking in public things, were from Austria and those areas. So interesting, so fascinating. Carl Jung was from Germany though, but he did move to Austria for a while and then back again, and yeah. And so it's very interesting because when you study psychology, why psychology is so interesting to me is because the way we view life, the way we form opinions of life, the way we form opinions of each other is through the mind. It's also emotionally, but our mind is really important. Like brain is connected to our entire body. I'm able to move my hands now because there's neurons connecting and running around my body doing what they're supposed to do. And then you also have your heart that pumps blood throughout your body. So just that expression, expression, or that what's the word I'm looking for? That reality, I guess, is proof. I don't feel like there should, like, it just makes sense to me that both our mind and emotions are equally as important and relevant to whatever it is you're doing. And I just think it's really fascinating to see how people really, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of it. So this video, the guy was saying, I'm watching this argument video. It's not argument video, but it's from the cut, where two people are strangers, are talking together and discussing topics from polarized sides. And the typical mainstream appreciated and like valued opinions are from a state of that's more reasonable, logical, that you can put the facts, ting, 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 ting. Okay, yeah, this person is right. But if you're talking about emotions and you're talking a little bit here and then a little bit there and then you go there, how should I explain it? I feel like that is wrong. And say, okay, but that's not relevant because I don't care how you feel. You see I don't know how to explain this, dog. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I've already kind of explained it, but I know that sometimes I can understand something and I'm not putting it out there as, okay, let's just say this. Saying that logic and reason is more important than emotions doesn't make sense, because that's kind of saying that what matters is what I understand. And if I don't understand it, then it doesn't matter. You know? And I think empathy is something we're all born with, because we are, we're not like loners. I've spent a lot of my life on my own, single mom, single child, you know, the deal. We moved so much, so I learn to appreciate my own company. And I think that's really important, actually, because once you learn to appreciate your own company, you'll never feel lonely. You can still miss someone and still like appreciate someone else's company and be alone and think, oh, I would love to have that person with me right now, but not that feeling of alone. I don't know how to explain it, because I can feel sad that I'm on my own and like I would appreciate someone's company right now, but it's different. Okay, bro, never mind that, okay? I know what I was talking about at that point, but explaining something that is abstract within the confines of reason doesn't make sense. To explain how you feel about someone, you can do it to a certain extent, but it's not, we all have different expressions, and we should allow all of them to be their true nature. When you have a feeling, you express that feeling through however that feeling chooses to express itself. Ooh, I hope you following me, because I'm feeling what I'm saying, okay? When you have a thought, you might express that thought and then someone else perceives it and receives it in a different way from how you were saying it. That's happened to me so many times, to be misunderstood. Especially, that's why I don't like chatting, because I write the way I speak. And sometimes for me, the tone of how I say something is really important. If I say, girl, you crazy. Girl, you're crazy. There's a difference. But writing it, you don't know what kind of tone I'm having with what I'm saying. So that's why I don't like chatting, I don't like texting, I don't like that stuff, because I get misunderstood so often. I'm just like and that's also why for a long time I didn't want to talk to people, because I didn't want to be misunderstood. And I feel I love YouTube for that, because I'm just like, I'm gonna express myself, how I feel, what I think, what I say, what I do, and take it or leave it, basically. If you jam with it, then welcome. I love you, I appreciate you. If you don't jam with it, I still love you, I still appreciate you. Keep doing you, keep staying true, stay jamming. Oh, I'm gonna end it right there. Hey, sexy lady. Bye bye.